Okay, so too much overlap. We discussed this a little bit. There's rules on how much overlap you should have, what percentage of the body. I don't really want to get into that. I just want to tell you guys that if you have too much overlap, it looks like somebody's hiding behind someone else, okay? He's too much hidden behind her in this shot. We only see 30% of his body, and that looks a little bit odd. It looks odd when you're close up. It looks odd from a distance that he's so hidden behind her. It looks like we're intentionally doing it to do something, to hide something. So when we overlap, we want to make sure that we're not overlapping. There's a kind of a guide that generally you don't overlap more than 20 to 30% of the body, right? Guys, can I have you two come up? Now you can kind of tell where this is going to go wrong when Kevin's right here, Caitlin, you're right next to him. I want you to go from an open pose first, so stand right next to him, completely next to him. Take a shot of this, Joe. And go portrait, and let's go full length.
Okay, scoot this way just a little bit more.
And have them scoot back so that they're in the light a little bit better. Right there, perfect.
Hold that, 1, 2.
Okay, and then Caitlin, step behind him a little bit, hug on his arm, just a little bit. Like right there, perfect. Take a shot again.
Turn towards the light source. There you go. Shot.
And look into the camera. Okay, slightly go behind him a little bit more. Right there.
Turn towards the light source.
Okay, slightly behind him more. Slightly behind him more. Okay. When did this start getting weird?
When you and Joe were hugging.
Ghost.
It started getting weird right here, right? Isn't that already a little bit too much where 50% of her body is basically covered, of the chest is basically covered? This one was where it was normal. This one's fine, this one's normal. A little bit much, way too much, and she's hidden in a shadow. So, does that kind of give you guys an idea? So we want to make sure that there's overlap, there's connection, and that's perfect, guys. Thank you so much. I love the dark shadow one. So overlap is great. Just don't overdo it. You'll know when you overdo it when it looks like somebody's hiding behind the other person. It's a very simple thing to understand. Now, why is this image okay? Because honestly, she's quite overlapped on him on this frame. Why is it okay though? He's taller. Expression. Expression trumps all, right? So the expression is great. There's also a certain physicality in this embrace that they're doing, right? It's just naturally going to happen where if he embraces her from behind like that, it's naturally going to conceal part of his body. But we have enough of him open and enough of him out that you can see his body going all the way down. And we can see quite a bit of his chest. His height is what makes this really, really work. Is that what you said, Carlo? His height makes this totally work because we can see a large portion of his chest above her shoulders. Can you imagine if his head were right here? Would that work as well? No. Because we wouldn't see enough of him above her to make it not look like they're hidden. So all you do is what Joe was doing is you have them, when they're doing a hugging pose like that, if they're getting too concealed, either you pull one out, or if you need them to be close like that, like come back out for one sec, guys. So let's go where you are hugging onto him. Perfect. Now, if they're looking straight onto the camera, so look straight out to the camera, turn all the way, like turn into the camera, there you go. So when you do that, she's in the shadow, right? Take that shot real quick.
Love it.
Love it. So beautiful. All you do is what Joe did, which is, let's get that in the shadow. Yes. So beautiful. Yes. All you do is you turn them. Okay? And then you say, Kevin, I want you to look down and towards her side. Caitlin, I want you to whisper something. Say something dirty into his ear. Like maybe you should clean your ears, Kevin. And Kevin, bring your hands up and actually interact with her. And Caitlin, I want you to hug him like a real embrace. Like actually pull him into you.
it going. Side.
Okay, and did we have shadow on her face still? If there's a shadow on her face, just have them turn a little bit more. Yeah, there's still a shadow on her face. Turn a little bit more. There you go. I love that drop toe. That's perfect.
Whisper. Softer.
Okay. Did they get a good laugh? Got a good one? There we go. Okay, now what's happening here? Well, Kevin's hand is going one hand in the pocket, one hand's up on her. She's got both arms around him, pulling him into her. Good expression, good everything. We can see their bodies, and so now you basically use the shot that we were talking about was unusable with them stacked directly on top of each other, but now it's usable because they're turned sideways so we can see what's going on.
Oh, I mean, the first thing that I noticed is her arm.
Flattened out.
Yeah, flattened out and give her a nice little bicep.
Yep.
So, how would you redo that? Not saying that, it's bad or anything. It's just, that's the first thing that I noticed.
No, it's a great point because anytime you do that, so do that again, hug onto him. So anytime the arm presses against the body, it opens up. So if your arm is actually a little bit more open, like you'll notice that it'll actually be a little bit softer. So the easiest way to do this is to have one hand come down. It's like a simple adjustment of just saying, bring that one hand down a little bit so the arm doesn't flatten out and open up quite so much. Also, remember that if you watch this arm, so again, if we're working with girls and the goal is to kind of minimize, right? Well, what I don't want is a wrist to be turned out. Okay, so as soon as a wrist is turned out, you'll notice that the bicep actually gets engaged, right? I'm not trying to do this to like show off. Okay, so if we turn the wrist in, we're fine. Does that make sense? We don't engage the bicep. So when she's going across and up like this, that's literally flexing the bicep when she's doing that. So relax it and turn it back out. Cool? And then just bring the arm down. So do that same thing again, and let's fix that correction that Vaughn noted. So open up a little bit to the light so you're not in the shadow. There you go. Bring the hand maybe down and across a little bit. There you go. Perfect. Hug onto her hand. There you go. Get that good laughs going, Joe.
Whisper.
Whisper. Whisper.
Softer. Yes.
Yes. Okay. I love that you pointed that out, Vaughn, because that's a big thing. And I want to show you guys how big the difference is. Huge difference, right? Huge difference. Now, if you got a great expression right here, keep in mind that a quick liquefy can fix that very easily. Don't throw it out, or don't like necessarily feel like, oh my gosh, I got to recreate that entire thing. It's going to be impossible to recreate it because I didn't get the shot, right? Go, oh, okay, that's a quick liquefy. If it's that great of an expression, that great of an everything, and I need to move forward, I'm going to move forward. But simple fix. Okay, so that's how you can turn a stack pose where they're directly behind each other into something that's actually usable, is by simply turning the angle. Now here we're turning their angle, but in reality you can just move your angle, right? You can just work around the couple, and that works totally fine too. All right, thank you guys. Let's go back to this. And pat yourselves on the back, folks, because it's time for Chapter 7 for group posing. So we're going to take a little break. I'll see you guys in Chapter 7.